Let's play a game. I'm going to put two images up on screen. One has been made with AI, the other is a genuine award-winning image. Which one is which? Let me know your answers down in the comments or think about it and I will reveal the answer at the end. Now, what's the purpose of this? The purpose is to start the discussion about how much AI is really influencing our work and what we can do to make sure that we are not confused with AI. Now, for some niches, this is going to be a little bit easier. For others, particularly photographers, a little bit harder. So whatever creative niche you're in, I think there is a tip for you here. So let's get into 3 ways that you can stand out from AI and basically prove that you are real. First one is proof of concept. So whatever niche you are in, this does apply to you. Let's take an architect, for example, maybe somebody who's doing some 3D modeling or 3D rendering or something like that, and you want to be able to prove straight from the get-go without anybody considering that it's AI, that in actual fact, you created this. And the way you're going to do that is with proof of concept. And the best way is a notebook. Have on your portfolio, or at least on your social media, the initial diagrams and drawings. You don't have to give away any proprietary information, but a great thing, maybe set up your phone or something, have recordings of you creating that initial idea. Now, it's not a huge deal to just have a camera on and maybe pull out some bits and pieces when you get a good idea, but you need to have that initial proof of concept. This is a musical anecdote, but Ed Sheeran, you all probably know him, he went through a whole process in court to prove that his songs were not stolen, that they were in fact his original ideas. And as a result now, whenever he's writing songs, whenever he's in the studio, he has a camera going. People can see the entire process, or at least he can prove the process. Now, for him, that's very much a legal thing. For us, it's a really great way to show that the initial idea was right there in pen and paper, on the screen, something along those lines, and it's not simply something that you have typed in with a prompt. It's a very good way to separate yourself and allow people to see you as trustworthy. The second one is get things wrong, which we all do, but show people the bad stuff. Show people the things that went wrong, because then people can see how the process evolved, or they can quite simply see that you are just human and you mess things up, because we all do. Show the stuff that was bad. Show the failed prototype. If you're, let's look at makeup artists, because makeup artists I think have a really good separation from AI because they have real people. But you know, you could still have an AI generated face with a particular style of makeup, maybe on a website or portfolio, which is fake, which people might not trust or believe. So you can still separate yourself, and a good way to do that is to show you practicing maybe a new style and getting it wrong. It makes for very amusing, very relatable social media content, and again, it makes for a great kind of before and after advancement of your skills. And I think people are really going to get behind this idea of, I see this as a real human person and not just AI. I think it's a really great thing to do, and another thing that transfers across pretty much all niches. Artists, I spoke to an artist recently. I spoke to a guy called Kit French. We'll be doing a full interview with him, which will be up on the channel very, very soon, so do get subscribed. I spoke to him about AI, and his particular style of painting I think would be very difficult to replicate, so he's in a really nice spot. However, if you wanted to double down, a really good way to do that would be to show the stuff that went wrong. And finally, this kind of applies to 1 and 2, but all together show the behind the scenes. This again was from a conversation I had recently with a photographer in his photography gallery. Again, we'll have an interview with him on the channel as well. And we spoke about how his photography needs to be separated out, how he needs to stand out from this idea of AI. Now, he shoots locations and he likes people to see the location exactly as it is. So he doesn't use too much in the way of editing tools to maybe remove items. So what he does is, to back up this whole idea, is he has the photo, but he also takes a vertical phone video of exactly the same location. You can see the camera, you can see the location, you can see that it's real, and it's a really great little companion piece, especially for people who are looking to buy his work, because not only can they see this incredible photo, he's an absolutely amazing photographer, Rowan Riley, and absolutely amazing. But then there's this little companion of, this is the day and time, this is where I was, and this is what it looked like on my phone in a quick video. This is where my camera was set up. And I think that is a really cool thing to be able to do in just a few seconds. You don't need a full behind the scenes, although videographers, people who do go out, take that video behind the scenes, is super invaluable these days, because not only does it prove that you're not AI, it also gives really great social media content. People love behind the scenes, and I've worked with some videographers as just the behind the scenes guy. I think that their work is amazing, so I've literally offered to go and just shoot their behind the scenes. I get to see them work, I get to be on set, and they get some really nice behind the scenes. Works out for everybody, but well worth considering, giving that behind the scenes look, and then letting the customer, letting your future clients see that, because again, separates you from AI. And that humanity, the human touch, really is going to make all the difference. Even if AI can do a lot of things faster, what it lacks, you can deliver and show. It's not about hiding all the dirty gray areas anymore. It's about showing them and showing the process. I think you should absolutely do that. So how do you incorporate this? Personally, I think a really good way to do it would be to set up so that with every finished photo, there is a sketch, there is a behind the scenes, there is a video. That's if you're a photographer. If you're a makeup artist, you're going to have a section where you're looking at, for example, some of the technique and something that maybe went wrong, and on a different section. If you're an artist, you can have the before and after as part of your portfolio, a little behind the scenes shot. Build all of these things in. It adds humanity, it adds an element of trust, and I think overall it can only be a benefit. However, we do have one more thing to discuss, which is our two images. Which one is AI and which one is real? Well, this one is real. This one is AI. Did you get it right? If you want to check out a conversation that I had about Instagram and how to change how you use Instagram along very similar lines to this, then go ahead and click the video on screen. It'll take you through there. And this is something that Peter McKinnon has really got into recently, and I absolutely agree with him.